Hello everyone, I am here to help us get our drawing set up for our complementary citrus fruit artwork. And this is the inspiration image that was put on the Canvas page so that you could have an idea where we're going with this project. This will be a multi-week project, so after today you're going to want to keep hold of your art and we'll be working on it for multiple weeks. So this is Mrs. Scott. Hello, I'm up here. You're going to be looking at my art from above, and you're going to need a pencil, a Sharpie, an eraser, and a ruler for what we're going to do today. So just remember, you're going to be using pencil to draw, and you're going to be pressing lightly so that it's easy to erase. If you press hard on your pencil and then try to erase it, you're always going to see that line. But if you just press very gently and you need to erase it, you'll never see it on your paper. So light lines as you draw in case you need to erase. I'm going to use a Sharpie to draw so that you can see my lines better. And then you'll also need, if you would prefer to trace a template for your circle for your citrus fruit, you can grab some type of a circle that's fairly large. Make sure that you still have some space around is the only thing I would say. So the first thing that you're going to do, as always, is write your name and code at the bottom of your page. Name and code, and then you're going to turn your paper over. And if I go too quickly, please feel free to pause this and catch up, and then you can start it again when you're ready. And then you're going to take your tracer, or you can freehand. If you're going to freehand, you want to make sure that the circle is much bigger than your fist. So kind of know that if it's your fist size or smaller, it's too small of a circle for this project. All right, so I'm going to lay this in the center. Just kind of visualize that it's in the middle of your page, and then trace your circle. All right, then what we're going to do is we're going to visualize where the center of this would be. If you have a hard time visualizing, you can draw a line this way, and where it intersects would be about the center. So I'm just going to visualize it being right here. This is about the size of, what is that about the size of? A little smaller than an M&M in the center of your circle. And then, oops, I said I would draw with Sharpie, but I'm not. Let me go over this really quick so you can see. I've done a couple other takes on this, so I'm not going to start over for that mistake. I'm just going to keep going. Okay, we've got the circle in the middle. Now we're going to work on these segments here. So these triangular shapes, and they're basically triangles except they're curved toward the edge. So I'm going to start with one on this side, and I'm going to round it off at the edge, and I'm going to leave a little bit of a space in between, and then these are going to go all the way to the center. And then I'm going to draw one right across from it. This is just to try to help me get the right spacing. And they're just slightly rounded around the outside. Then I'm going to draw one coming out this way. So I'm kind of just dividing my space each time. So that the segments end up being fairly even. And then I'm going to divide this in half. And I'm going to divide this in half. And I'm going to divide this in half. And this in half. Okay, so then you have a citrus fruit. And then you can add just a couple random seed shapes a few different places in your fruit. All right, that's it for the middle. Now we're going to add our grid. And the easiest way I think to do this is we're not really measuring, we're using a straight edge. And when you use a straight edge, we need to make sure that the side of the ruler lines up with the edge of the paper first of all. And then I like to say use this L, so stretch your first finger and your thumb out and then press it down on the ruler like this. And what that does is it helps the ruler not to slip. When you come down the ruler, then it doesn't go like this on you. Typically, if you're holding on this way with some pressure here, it doesn't slip as much. So we're gonna create that space, and then we're gonna line up our ruler with the line we just made. And this time we're gonna stop when we get to our orange, or lime, or lemon, whichever one it may be, turn out to be. And we're gonna do that all the way across. Each time we're lining up our ruler with the previous line that we made, and we're stopping our line when we get to our citrus fruit. All right, so we have all of our vertical lines now, and so now we're going to go ahead and do our horizontal lines. So now we're going to turn it this way and line it up with the top of our page this direction. And I'm going to use the L again to keep it so it doesn't slide. And now I'm going to line up each time with that previous line that I made, going all the way down my paper. And when I hit the lime or lemon, I'm going to stop this direction as well, because I don't want to draw the grid through the citrus fruit. All right, there we go. This L, holding it with the L, really seems to help the ruler from sliding in a weird way that you don't want. Then I will say while I'm finishing these up that when we add color to this next week, you will be choosing a complementary color pair. So maybe you want to think about what you want to use. Do you want to use red and green? Do you want to use blue and orange? Do you want to use yellow and purple? Those are the main choices that you'll have. And we'll talk more about that next week. For now, yours will be all drawn in pencil so far, but now it's time for you to trace everything in Sharpie very carefully. And if you want to use your ruler to reline up while you draw those lines, that is totally fine. If you feel really confident that you can do the lines the first time in Sharpie, I'm not opposed to that. But if you make a mistake in a Sharpie, not a lot you can do. So that's all for this week. Stay tuned and we will work on color next week.